Today I'm going to tell you what Jonathan Alvarez's retirement means for the Sooners and how Jospeh Weté inspires me and should inspire us all, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, I'm going to tell you about what Jonathan Alvarez's retirement means for Oklahoma and some things that I learned about Jospeh Weté that you'll want to know about. But let's get started by talking about Jonathan Alvarez. Now, Jonathan Alvarez was not just another lineman. One ultimate team guy from everybody who has anything to say about Jonathan Alvarez. He was so committed to the team and so committed to doing whatever was necessary for him to help the team succeed. Now, heading into the season, this was a guy that felt like he was going to be on the Remington Award list come November, which is an award given to the best center in the country. But as Creed Humphrey emerged, it became a real battle, and to let Lincoln Riley and Bill Bedenbaugh tell it, a closer battle than even Kyler Murray, Austin Kendall, and Lincoln Riley would swear up and down that was one of the tightest competitions that he's ever judged at the quarterback position. And while it seemed like Alvarez was going to be the guy who won the job, Creed Humphrey eventually emerged, and he is the starting center at Oklahoma. But in Jonathan Alvarez, you don't just have a backup center who was good enough to start. You have a guy that can play left and right guard if you need it. So in effect, Jonathan Alvarez could play three positions. Now, not only do you not have a capable starter and awesome backup at center, you also don't have a guy who can fill in at left and right guard. And Alvarez is done playing football. The injuries have just mounted up in such a way that he's decided that his body can't handle it anymore. So for Oklahoma, it means you're thin. Now you have guys that can obviously play the position, but you don't have anybody with his experience and his savvy and his leadership playing in the game, though he will be with the team going forward. But for Oklahoma, just continues a trend of watching guys suffer these injuries that become season ending just by the nature of them. With Alvarez, it was a lot of injuries that mounted up. With Marcellus Sutton, it was a broken leg that he suffered at practice. With Rodney Anderson, it's a knee injury that finished out his season and effectively his career. This reminds me of Matt Romar last year. And we've had these stories come to Oklahoma as much as they come to anywhere else year after year, and it makes you just feel awful for the kids, but also reinforce that the game takes a toll on these kids and that it is so fleeting. And that when they have an opportunity to play it, and we have an opportunity to watch them, that we should keep these things in perspective, as it is a short time in their lives for which there will never be another like it. All right, so now we're going to get into a bit of my conversation with 2019 outside linebacker commit Jospeh Weté. And I got to tell you, I was really impressed with him. I learned some things about him that I did not know, and I'm sure a lot of folks didn't know, like his parents are from Cameroon. He's an absolutely avid soccer fan, as I am. We geeked about that a bit. He plans to come to Oklahoma and study architecture. He's excited to come to Oklahoma. And we talked a bit about where he fits in on the defense, whether that be outside linebacker or defensive end, how he got started in football, and just what brought him to Oklahoma and brought about a commit from a guy who's from Prince George's County in Maryland. All right, so now let's get into that interview. Jospeh Weté, 2019 outside linebacker, defensive end. What do you think? What's your position? What do you call yourself?
Outside linebacker.
Okay, like
yeah,
like in a base 3-4.
Yeah, I'm not exactly. Yeah, I mean, at my school we kind of run multiple different things. So, our base is kind of like we have 4 down linemen. Yeah. But at the same time, the two ends are we drop a lot. So, our official title, I guess, is outside linebacker, but it's up for debate.
Huh. Okay. So, what are your responsibilities in when you see like 21 personnel?
I mean, so I have the C gap, okay, or as a tight end, I probably have the D gap. But I'm basically an end,
okay,
a glorified end. So
okay, you get to stand up though.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So for the folks that are listening or watching, your most comparison, your comp is like a James Harrison, Jadeveon Clowney type of character, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So, dude that really just gets to go off the end. You play basically a 9 technique. Okay. So you a sack master.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Quote unquote pass rusher.
Hey, and how'd you get into that?
I mean, pass rushing.
Yeah, I mean, cause like
Yeah,
when I'm growing up, I wanted to be a defensive end. I wanted to be 6'5", 260. That ain't work out for me, but it's a very
yeah.
particular type of football player that wants to be a pass rusher.
I mean, I came into high school as a receiver,
Okay.
so it was kind of a niche thing. You know, my coach was good at finding what people do best, and apparently I didn't have the greatest hands. I'd like to argue with that, but uh, it put me down with. I remember like it was yesterday. You know, like they put me down with the defensive lineman,
Yeah.
and we just did one-on-ones for like 10 minutes, and I kept winning, so it kind of stuck.
Oh wow.
And my sophomore season, they would they would only put me they would really only put me in on like third downs, and then I mean from then on, it just kind of that's what I kind of prided myself on. But you know, this season I wanted to focus on being more rounded and be able to do everything.
Okay. So is being well-rounded getting to be a better linebacker, or is that what you want to do going forward?
Yeah, for sure. So, sophomore year I was like 190 pounds or something like that. Junior year I was about 220, and right now I'm about 225. So, you know, linebacker is definitely something I enjoy doing. And sometimes, like, I mean, last game we played St. John's yesterday,
Right.
and there are definitely points in that game where I was a linebacker, like truly. And I mean, yeah, being like, I really pride myself in being able to do anything they ask of me. Like, if I need to put my hand in the dirt on the goal line, and really play a line of scrimmage, then I can do that. Also yesterday I dropped a lot too. So, and I do have a pick on this season. So,
Hey, so there's those hands.
yeah.
That's what's up. What is home like for you? What's your home life like? What are your parents like?
Great, great people. You know, I mean, I live in Maryland, Prince George's County, Maryland.
Wait, you
And
say Prince George?
yeah, Prince George's County.
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you old enough to see The Wire?
Nah, I
Okay.
mean, I'm old enough,
Okay. Well, yeah, but you haven't
but
seen it yet.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, but I do hold pride in the fact that KD is from here.
Okay.
So,
Well,
you know,
and that's gonna get you mixed reviews from folks from Oklahoma because
yeah,
feel some kind
yeah.
of way about him going to Golden State after the fact, right? But also, I mean, you got lots of history there, dog. You got lots of social
For
justice history
sure,
there too. Um,
for sure,
so
for
like you
sure.
you grew up in Prince George's County?
Yes, I've lived in the same house my whole life. Um, yeah, I've lived in the same house my whole life, and but furthermore, yeah, my school's in DC, so every morning I wake up around 5:30, get ready, drive to Northwest DC, literally like a block or two away from the Capitol building. Um, and school until 2:45, meetings and practice until about 7, and come home. That's every day. So
So you mentioned before we got started that your parents are from Cameroon,
yeah,
and are they fluent in French?
yeah, they both are.
Okay, so were you raised speaking French?
Um, nah, not really.
Okay.
Actually, no. Like they always tried to get me into it, but I was kind of stubborn. No.
So, what do your parents think about you playing football?
I mean, at first it was kind of like for fun. I mean, my first football experience was when I was like eight, eight or so, and I remember just not liking it.
Mhm.
Like, I remember just not wanting to, like, I couldn't understand why they were making me run and do push-ups and stuff. I was like, I'm not, like, I'm cool with this. So like, I mean, still to today, like one of my favorite sports is soccer. So I actually played that most of my childhood. And that's kind of what, as a family, we kind of grew up watching because that's just the sport that, my culture like covets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
But
do. If I might interject,
yeah,
I am fluent in the soccer.
yeah,
Samuel Eto'o comes from your parents' country, correct?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, played for Chelsea for a while, played for Inter. Yeah, I'm there with you, dog. Like I follow the EPL closely. I follow La Liga closely, Bundesliga, all of it. So if you want to go there, we can go there.
Yeah. No, I'm a Tottenham fan.
What? Ah, Joseph, I liked you, dog. Come on, man. The Arsenal. How'd you get to be a Tottenham fan? Tell me about that.
I mean, yeah, I just picked. I just picked the squad. You know, my cousin, my mom actually lived in London before coming to America, so she went from Cameroon to London.
Okay.
To here.
Okay.
A long time ago, but you know, for me, I just kind of picked the squad.
Okay.
You know, my parents were both my parents are kind of like general fans.
Right.
Like they kind of just like watching good soccer. But me personally, it's always been Tottenham. Like I remember one time it was like FIFA 14.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I just got in the game and I was like, I really like playing with this team, so this is my favorite team.
So who was the player that brought you into Tottenham?
Definitely Harry Kane.
Yeah, well, one of your own. Yeah, number 9. Boy, he can score. He can score. Like that was really impressive to watch his come up, because it was like, who is this dude? Because I'm looking around, I'm going, okay, you know, Aaron Lennon used to be over there, right? And then there's a couple other dudes that could score. I know a lot of people are high on Eric Dyer, but he seems to be more of a center defensive mid, you know, rather than, you know, an attacking mid.
Yeah.
And I think Gareth Bale was still there. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay. So yeah, you came up at a time when they were challenging. They were challenging hard. I mean, they still are, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like most of my family, like beyond my immediate family, we all kind of love PSG. Like that's what we'll sit down and watch together. But it's not as fun to watch as like Premier League soccer, because I mean, obviously the French league is not very competitive.
Nah, it's like PSG and like maybe Lyon and hopefully Marseille.
Yeah, because they just buy everybody.
Yeah, so. Yeah. It's real top heavy, and by top heavy we mean the one team.
yeah, for sure. So I mean, I grew up kind of on soccer, but somewhere like 8th grade, my friend was just like, yo, like, you know, my dad has his team, we should all come out and play. You know, I wasn't doing anything else really. I was kind of just, you know, soccer in the fall, kind of playing just for fun.
Right.
But he was like, yeah, you come out, you know, whatever. So I came out, enjoyed it, played like I was playing receiver. I was playing receiver, and then I was playing nose tackle just because I was tall.
Like a zero technique or like a 3?
Yeah, like zero technique.
Wow, over the ball.
Yeah, it was a crazy combination. And I mean, I just enjoyed it. Like, it was a good time.
I'm so intrigued by the soccer dynamic here, because I tell folks all the time that soccer is a great way to get your kids into sport, period, because you learn balance, you learn proprioception, you learn awareness on the field, you learn to play the team game, all the things that you want children to learn. But I'm always intrigued to find out what position kids played before they, you know, chose another sport. So like Buddy Hield, who played basketball at OU, is very good, you know, first round draft pick. He played soccer in the Bahamas, and you know, my man was a number 9, which tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
So like, what position did you play?
I was I was a midi. I was a midi, right mid.
Okay.
My dad actually played soccer. He was in Cameroon, and he stopped when he came to America. But that was the position he played. So I mean, I never really played. Like, I didn't play for any of the club teams like people playing for now and stuff like that. It was just neighborhood stuff, so it wasn't very structured. Mm-hmm. But so I'd always come in there like, yo, I get to play midi. I get to play midi today. Like, this is what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, it's not so much, you know, the pedigree as much as your mindset. That's what I'm like. So you saying that you play midi, box to box or center attacking mid?
Box to box.
Hey, a workhorse.
Yeah.
I like workhorses. That's what's up.
Yo, even, I mean, it was just perfect for me, because even like when I play pickup basketball,
right,
I want to like, I'm more worried about assists. Like I'm trying to set people up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. For me, that's just fun, like setting people up.
Right, and that's an interesting way to play the game, and then play a position like outside linebacker, which is, I mean, pass rushing is a star position, right? Coaches have to beat into you most of the time. Yo, run defense, dog. And you're like, nah, I want these sacks. You know, I want these tackles for loss. Like, leave me alone. I do not want to go into the wash.
Yeah, and that was definitely the biggest thing I had to adjust to. The sophomore year going into junior year, you know, I didn't like, honestly, my body, I just wasn't used to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of had a receiver mentality.
Right.
Playing really D-line. At the time, my sophomore year, we ran a 3-down. And I was the third lineman. I was the end. So it was like, I started at first, and no, I did okay, but then eventually I ended up getting benched, just because I wasn't like I was unable to play the run effectively in the 3-5.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it made perfect sense. So eventually I had to really just change my mindset. Like, yo, like, I can't just run up the field every time.
Well, I'm about to say, unpack that for a bit, because for non-football people, understanding the difference between playing run defense and being a pass rusher is not necessarily a nuance that they get into. So what was the thing holding you back when you were playing that in the 3-5? You can listen to the rest of my interview with Jospeh Weté on the Woosah podcast. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.